What's up? Happy Friday. What's up? Happy Friday. Welcome to another episode of Unspoken Truth Podcast. I'm your host, Denise. Hey, we made it. Another Friday. I hope everybody's week has been positive. I hope that you was able to do something for yourself, help somebody else. Hey, sis. Tonight's topic is friendship. Man, this topic gonna really hit home for so many different reasons, but it need to be discussed. Friendship. What does it mean? What does it look like? What are examples of healthy and unhealthy friendships? This topic could go on past the hour that I give it, but I feel like it need to be discussed. I got a lot of people that's gonna be tuning in tonight. People I've been friends with that I consider friends and associates. How do you decipher between the two? I think that's the most important question, but I'll start off with just what is friendship? I've had plenty of friends in my life over the 40 plus years I've been alive. Some of them was built off of trauma bonds. Some of them was just because we lived in the same neighborhood. Some of them was because we knew mutual people. I think at this age, some of that have to be defined. You got to break it down. You need to have a clear understanding within yourself what that looks like for you. I've experienced some hardships in reference to this particular topic over the years, and it's okay because I feel like I've learned a lot from it. I've learned a lot about myself, and I think in the end, that's what really matters. When you start to have breakups, and I'm not just talking about in relationships with your significant other, but friendships, because I've had friendships, both male and female. One of them passed last year. Rest up to you, Dirt, bro. I miss you. I miss our conversations. I miss your advice. I miss you just being present as a friend, both for me and my kids. Life can be tough sometimes. We get dealt cards that we didn't even know we was gonna get dealt. How you respond, I don't think that there's an answer I can give for that, because you don't know how you're gonna respond until something happens that potentially could make or break a connection or a friendship with somebody. I have lost a lot of people in my family, but I think it's different when it's your friends. This is the first friend that I've had pass on me like that, and we was friends over 20 years. I got my sister that's on the live. I've been friends with her almost 30 years. Most of my friends I've been friends with over 2 decades. I think that speaks volumes. I'm big on loyalty. Me personally. People will say, well, how would you number the priorities as far as friendship? For me, I feel like loyalty is a top priority. It come before love, because I feel like people could love you and not be loyal. I've seen it. I've experienced it. I'm sure a lot of people that's watching have experienced it too. It's hard because I think a lot of times me in particular, I have a big heart. I don't mind doing for people. I'll give you the shirt off my back if I think it's going to help you where you're going. It don't have to be a connection like that with me and you. But if we are friends, I'm gonna ride for you. Period. Now, what we discuss amongst ourselves about what's going on, that's different. But I also feel like that's mandatory. That you sit down and have hard, transparent conversations with your friends when stuff occur between y'all. You don't have to agree. You don't. It don't have to turn into something else. But I believe when it do turn into something else, it's something hidden or rooted in that as to why things is going that way. And a simple conversation and communication could fix it. I'm not perfect. I don't know nobody that is. But I feel like for the people who I am friends with, that's got to happen. It's got to happen. We got to be able to talk. I'm okay with you telling me where I'm wrong or what I did to make you feel some type of way. I'm okay with that. It's not going to turn into us getting physical or none of that. It's not. I'm in a different season in my life. It's not. I ain't going to allow myself to. And for the people who know me long term, this is growth. Whether people like it, accept it, whatever, this is my growth. Me not allowing myself to entertain certain things, me not allowing myself to be sucked into certain things, me recognizing stuff before it get out of hand. This is growth for me. Because in the past, it would go left. And in the end, for what? Why? If we cool, we could agree to disagree. You can tell me where I got you fucked up. I'm going to tell you where you got me fucked up. And it's okay. Ain't nothing going to change between us. Or it shouldn't. Sis, what it do? Oh man, what we got going on? I thought I pressed it. Accept. Oh man, I don't know. We kind of froze a little bit, but that's okay. I'm gonna keep it moving. Okay. How do you get somebody to see where you coming from when y'all have a disagreement in your friendship? How do you get somebody to know where you coming from when y'all friends and y'all have a disagreement? Do you put that person on blast in front of other people? Do you pull them to the side? What is your go-to when you friends with somebody and y'all have a disagreement? Because I don't like to use the word falling out because I think that could be used in such a negative way. But what are some of the tactics that you initially go to? And let's remove emotion, because emotion is what make you go from 0 to a million about something that could just clearly be discussed. Do you confront them? Do you say, hey, look, you got me fucked up? You won't hear me. You gonna understand where I'm coming from. How do you approach the situation? Do you stay calm? Do you have more respect for them? Do you have for yourself? How do you handle the situation? Because me personally, in the past, I would just go ahead and get it in with you. We'll figure it all out later. Pull your friend to the side, speak to them about the situation, never put the problem on blast. It can make things worse. I agree. Cuz, what it do, man? You say people have accountability issues, and if they don't have it in them, have to fall back for a minute. Yeah. I also feel like people is at war with themselves. I've been saying it, and including myself. So because I'm at war with myself, do that give me the green light to go lashing out on somebody or start projecting what's going on with me onto my friend? But what happens when they choose not to be accountable for their actions? What happens when that don't occur? Because it's a flip side to this. See, I've seen people be friends for 20, 30 years and never speak to each other again, man. Because somebody felt some type of way and ain't nobody say like how they felt. So it just got left where it was at. You know, I used to always be in search of clarity with stuff, but no response and being unwilling to resolve the problem. See, this is what I'm learning within my season right now is that people want you to forgive them, but they don't want to fix the problem that made the issue that potentially broke the connection or friendship. I want your forgiveness, but I don't want you to keep on. I don't want you to hold me accountable for the part I played in it. If you gonna hold my feet to the flame, why I can't hold yours? I feel like what's good for you is good for me. I've also seen pride, ego, and pettiness destroy real ass fucking friendships. I've seen it. I have never had the spirit with any of my friends where I feel like we in competition, man. Never. Not a day in my life. Never. And I don't care what they get that I may not have or what I get that they don't got. That shit don't mean nothing because when you solid, you solid. That type of shit don't even get added into the equation. Not in my world.
These not shorts, are they?
No, I found those.
Where?
Up here on the shelf.
Here's these hooks, because he was looking for these. He just bought another pair.
They was on the second shelf all the way in the back.
These ain't iPhones,
But I've seen it. So how do we stop ourselves from potentially losing real friendships with people? How do we resolve that so that the connection continues?
He's not open.
No, I'm sorry. I'm lying to you. There they go right there. The ones I found. But how do you fix it? Because I used to be a people pleaser real bad. I used to be like, I don't want to lose nobody. I don't want them to lose me. So I'll deal. So I'll just deal. Is that more punishment to me and more satisfaction to the person who getting away with it? I feel like, yeah, it's more punishment to myself because I'm allowing it. But right now, where I'm at today, I don't give a shit about losing nobody. Because every move I make and everything I do for the people that I care about is with good intentions. It ain't never ill will. And so as long as I know where my heart at and that my intentions was good, I could sleep at night. So it ain't no reason for me to lose no sleep. If at some point I stopped showing up for certain things, did you consider what I was going through? Did it even cross your mind? Because I'm one of them people, if I'm going through something, I'm going to chill. I ain't trying to kick it or do none of that. I dip off. You won't see me for a minute. And that's cool, because if my shit ain't in order, I don't got the right to be kicking it or celebrating nothing. What I'm celebrating? Failure? If my pockets ain't right, if my bills ain't all the way together paid or whatever, I ain't trying to do nothing. I ain't trying to go nowhere. We can't stop anything that's meant to be. We don't have control over others. You can't fix what's broken alone. You can only focus on fixing you and the flaws that we may have that causes us to have broken friendships or relationships. Facts. Ooh. Well, that's what I'm going to say. What I done got out of the last episode. It forced me to have to look at myself, do a self-analysis. Are you really prepared to do that? I'm gonna tell you, I wasn't. At first, I was resisting as hell. I'm like, no, it ain't me. Yeah, it could possibly be me. Mm-hmm. I'm not always right. But at least tell me where I went wrong so I could adjust and fix it. Don't expose it to everybody but me if I'm the problem. It has forced me to realize, like, well, shoot, who was I when I made the connection? Where was I at in my life? What was I going through? Because I feel like a lot of that plays a role in a lot of the connections. Because I don't believe in nobody crossing paths or having a friendship or relationship for no reason. Everything happens for a reason. Maybe the season I was in my life at that time warranted for me to have that particular friendship or connection. And that's okay. But I'm also learning that it's a season, it's expiration date on everything. And no guarantees. Do I have flaws? Absolutely, I do. Have I tried to figure out how to work on those things? For sure. Because awareness is the first step. Now, I don't believe within my body that I have done anything ill will to anybody to make them feel like I'm not a good friend. I feel like the world could use some lessons in communication, patience, and grace, period. And that goes for everybody. I'm a very passionate person about a lot of things. In particular, the people within my circle, the people within my realm. The people that I've had the pleasure of meeting, whether we still connected or not, it was all part of the plan, man. A person's pride and ego is the cause of most lost relationships, not communicating or even listening to what's being said, and not only said but seen. The way a person moves speaks volumes. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's why I just said that, like, I don't have it in me to be on no snake ass shit with nobody that I call my friend. First of all, after I done been friends with people for so long, I'm no longer calling you or labeling you as a friend, but I also think sometimes we give titles and put people on pedestals and then we realize they ain't who we thought they was. You all have to communicate no matter the issue. If y'all are real friends, you should be able to talk about anything. People don't like to be confronted with their shit, and that's a major problem. Okay. Hey, I'm guilty. I'm guilty. But I'm definitely open. I'm definitely open. I'm not going to keep myself closed to somebody that I care about that is trying to get me to understand where they coming from. I'm not at all. Can I be misunderstood or hard to deal with sometimes? Absolutely. But see, that's some work I got to do within myself. But when it comes to my friends, even my family, I've not been in a season where somebody has told me I'm not a good friend or that I don't show up to now. And maybe that's what it is. This is the first time for me experiencing something like this. It's like, damn, reality check. For me, if I hear it more than once, I need to evaluate myself. I'm not upset at the person who said what was said. No, I'm more so trying to figure out what's going on within me that keep being told to me. Because I believe that we are a reflection of each other. And that's part of the connection within itself. Short term, long term, whatever. That's part of the connection itself. Because it's something about that person that is a mirror about some things about yourself that you need to be addressing. But how do you go about that? It's hard when you working on yourself. Let me just be clear about that. When you putting in a conscious effort to change the trajectory or the journey that you on versus the one you used to, that shit hard, man. That shit hard. And it's gonna be good days, it's gonna be bad days. And that's all a part of healing, man. It's not about who was right, who was wrong, man. I'm sorry for whoever feel like I ain't show up or I ain't a good friend. I think that I've taken on so much with people, places, and things in my life that it's just an overload at this point. And when I sift through everything that I carry or deal with or absorb, a majority of the shit don't have nothing to do with me personally at all. And we'll do it again. You say, I remember falling and hurting my back to the point that I couldn't walk for weeks on crutches with 3 small kids. You dropped everything to come and literally take care of me every single day. And we'll do it again. Because in my world, I ain't count favors about what I did or didn't do. I'm not. Because I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it. When you realize in your life that most people didn't show up for you, then you start becoming the person that people can rely on to show up for them. And in a sense, that's who I became, the anchor to a lot of people. And maybe that's what my problem is. But I don't regret. I don't regret nothing that I've ever done for nobody. Nope. See, the way I see things is the more I do for others the more I take the spotlight off myself, the more I stop focusing on what's going on with me and start doing for other people, that's where my blessings come from. That's where the favor come from. That's where abundance come from. That's how I'm able to still be standing. I could get on here and talk about times I showed up and I was fucked up. Mentally, emotionally, it was shit going on in my house with my kids. It was all kind of shit going on, but I still showed up. Friends don't always see eye to eye. It's up to us to keep our friendship alive. Someone has to be the bigger person. Yeah. I choose that because anything less is low vibrational as fuck. Flat out. It's low vibrational. I'm not, no, I can't, not going to. See, I did too much work on myself for me not to acknowledge that before I do something impulsive or irate or out of character or whatever. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm going to remove myself is what I'm going to do. It ain't no other option. Like, I don't want nothing forced in my life at this point. Friendships, families, networking, connections. I don't. If I feel like I gotta be doing this or if I feel like I gotta be trying to question how you feeling today, if we good, if we ain't, I don't want none of that shit in my life. I don't got the capacity to take on none of that. Last year I lost 4 people back to back. And I'm not saying nobody's loss is greater than nobody else's or nothing. But just imagine 3 all in the same month. July 2023. Started off with me losing my 17-year-old nephew to stomach cancer. my 30-some-year-old cousin Larry, and then one of my best friends. Whew. I've been dealing with loss. I've been dealing with death since the 80s in my family. So I learned about death at an early age, man, and loss. But I don't think I've lost as much as I feel like I've lost in the last 15 years in my whole life. And then I had less than 30 days in between that where one of my best friends' mothers died, and then less than 6 months later, then my other best friend mother died. Whew. So forgive me. Forgive me for not showing up how you thought I was supposed to. Forgive me for that. Because maybe I just didn't know how. Maybe I just didn't know how. And I'm human at the end of the day. Maybe I just didn't know how to show up. Because I really can't relate. I can't. I really can't relate. I wouldn't know what to say. I wouldn't know what to do for real. I feel like me just showing up, even if I can't say nothing out my mouth to express how I feel about the loss. Because when my friends hurt, I hurt. When my friends go through shit, I feel it. When I see shit before it happen, I tell it and share it. And that ain't gonna never change, man. Because that's who I am at the end of the day. Man, I ain't hold no grudges with nobody, man. I can't afford it. I can't afford it. I don't have the capacity to hold a grudge with anybody. No. Because I need to use my energy for myself right now. If anybody know me for real, I share everything I know about whatever it is y'all talking about or going through. But when I don't know, I don't have nothing to say. I don't have nothing to say. Because one thing I'm not going to do in this life is talk out of turn. Because I understand my place. If I hurt you, if I disappointed you, if I let you down, forgive me for that. Because you can believe with every fiber in my body, I didn't set out to do that. I didn't wake up like, let me figure out how I'm going to hurt or disappoint my friends. I ain't never woke up like with that kind of spirit. So if I hurt you, forgive me, man. And if nothing ever else come from the connection, I can walk away with my hands clean, man. Friendships can be hard. They can be tough. They can be challenging. I appreciate every single person that then stuck beside me because, boy, I've been through some things in my life. And I don't mind talking about it, sharing it. It's my truth. It's my story to tell. What I will say is, man, life come at you hard at times. You don't know what's about to jump off. This life is short and sweet. I'm watching a lot of people around me hurting. I'm hurting. I done figured out how to wear it so well most people wouldn't believe it, man. But every single day, I still gotta show up. I still gotta make something happen. I still gotta make something shake. So if I disappear for a second, if I fall back a little bit, don't take it personal, man. Don't. Because I promise you it ain't about you. Everything ain't about everybody. Maybe I need a timeout. Maybe I need a reality check. Maybe I need to sit with myself. Maybe I need to get myself together. And do. And doing. And gonna keep doing. Because in this life, the only people who miss out on is the ones who don't take a chance, a risk on themselves. I don't want to live this life just existing. I did that for too long, man. Hey, man. Shout out to everybody who then chimed in, commented. Yo, I'm going to keep doing uncomfortable, transparent episodes. So I can help myself. So I can help others. Hey, man. Huh? Oh, it's going to let you join, huh? Nobody else could join. Tonight's topic is friendship.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. just sharing some vulnerability. Sometimes we have to analyze our circle and ourselves. Hey. In reference to friendships.
Okay.
Are they healthy connections, or have the season expired on the connection? What do you do when y'all have a disagreement? How do you solve or resolve the issue?
Well, I got one person I've been friends with for probably 40 years.
Okay.
And we may be away from each other for periods of time, long periods of time.
Mm-hmm.
But when we come back together, it's like we've never even been apart.
Yeah.
Both of our health is getting kind of bad, so we communicate by texting.
Mm-hmm.
Or, on the phone.
So throughout the 40-year friendship, have y'all had falling outs? And if y'all did, how did y'all resolve them though? That kept the friendship going.
Separation solved
it. Okay. Well, I don't know. This is the first time I feel I've been in a position where I feel like I've overplayed my part. But I feel like I do that with everybody in my life that I care about. So I don't think that is no different. But I'm just now realizing, like, hey, it's okay for them to not be whoever you made them be in your mind.
Well, maybe could it be that maybe sometimes you jump the gun too soon? Before you see what is really going to go on or what is going on?
Well, I can't force conversation at the end of the day. I'm willing. Hey, you might say some shit I don't like. It's okay. Because this is your perspective of how you feel. I cannot debate or argue with you about that. But I feel like in friendships, a conversation should occur. Hey, this how you made me feel. This what you did. You know what I'm saying? And hey, that person can take what you saying with a grain of salt or literally do some adjusting. And I feel like that should be on both ends.
Yeah, I guess you're right about that.
That should be on both ends. I don't feel like one person, I don't think it matters who started it, what caused it, none of that. If you really solid with somebody in your friendship, a conversation should be able to occur. And both parties ought to be heard.
Something that's difficult to do.
Well, again, communication is the biggest factor.
True. But don't let it get you down.
No, you can't. You can't. You can't. But what do you do when it's a tough situation and communicating at the moment is on pause? You can't, because guess what? See, this is what I've been learning. I used to be trying to orchestrate and set the stage for certain conversations to occur. We are not in control. We are not in control. And just because you ready to have the conversation don't mean the other person is ready. I just had a full-blown interview with my father. I'm 42 years old. I've been trying to orchestrate and fixate and make this happen for years. I'm not in control. He said he was ready to have a conversation. okay, cool. I'm gonna use my platform for us to have a conversation. It's an uncomfortable one, but it still need to happen.
Okay, but did you learn from that?
Absolutely, because it's his story, your story, and God's.
I didn't have no whole lot of story. I didn't have no say so in it until they got to the part of our separating.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just saying, him being vulnerable enough to tell his side of the story is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Whether it's you agree with it or didn't agree with it, hey,
it was his story to tell, the way he saw it.
Yeah, so, and it's okay. I learned a lot. It freed me in a lot of ways. That was great. But I touched on before a lot of y'all got on here about the things that people be going through in their own personal life. And sometimes that get projected off onto the people we care about. I'm guilty of that. Is anybody else gonna admit that they guilty of that? Because usually you go for the closest person to you.
Yeah, well, I've learned over the years you can't take that attitude or whatever's bothering you to somebody that they had nothing to do with it.
Yeah. Well, again, Courtney said, I'm guilty. Jalen said, I believe people have to wait until others are vulnerable enough to have the conversation. And that's what I'm saying. You can't. You can't force it. And that's why I said during this episode that that's the type of mindset that I used to have, because I was ready, because I wanted to speak on it, because I wanted to talk about it, because I had something to say. No. Maybe this is the season for you not to have nothing to say, even when you got something to say. Tasha said, a great question. I've had to deal with this. I allow that cooling off period. Good friends will always come around to have that conversation. Yes. And how you show up within your friendships should not be dictated by the other party. It's dictated and controlled by you.
Well, like they say, closed mouths don't get fed either.
That is very, very true. But what I'm saying is, if I couldn't,
I'd make the other person talk.
If I couldn't, I just couldn't. If I couldn't, I just couldn't.
And then maybe just let a little bit more time pass by and approach it again and see if anything's changed.
How you show up in a situation for somebody should not be dictated by them. It is controlled and dictated by you. And if whatever connection and friendship you have with that person, if that's being taken out of context, then that's a whole different problem right there. If it's taken out of context by you feeling like how I show up in the friendship, you think you in control of how I show up. If you taking that out of context, then it's a bigger issue involved. At that point, this is just my opinion, because when you don't address certain things when they need to be addressed, they fester. Hi, son.
Who's to know when it's to be addressed, though?
What I'm saying is, when you allow things to go on and on for long periods of time, it just build. Then it turned into something else. Now y'all ain't even trying to communicate or resolve nothing. It's more so like, we about to work. Like, for what? Like, why? Why can't we sit down and have a conversation without all of the extra antics? I'm just saying, like, this is what.
So let's restart. Let me get on this convo.
The topic is friendship. What you gotta say? What you gotta say about it?
As far as friendship wise,
I mean, how do you label people as your friends? Like, what is it?
Somebody as my friend that I know that kind of basically return the favor and do something that I do for them if I'm there, no matter, not even just about money, not even just out of love, as a loyalty standpoint, just all the way through, thick and thin, at our worst times, and you feel me, not even at our best times. At our best times, we could be there for whoever, but you know, when you down to your lowest and you at your lowest, you know, who really is there for you, who really do rekindle and try to, you know, help you out. So I really label my friendships on people who based off of, you know, that's gonna be for me when times that I know that I barely can count on myself, you know. So
loyalty.
Then you go back to the loyalty, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
loyalty. Yes. That's how I started this episode.
How you bring it to it, how you think about it, because I mean everybody got a different definition of loyalty, and that's why it don't work out in all friendships. Everybody don't have the fine definition of what loyalty actually means, what that's come out of a dictionary. So people all has different. If you ask multiple of your friends, what's the definition of loyalty between our friendship, you will see that they all have multiple definitions. They won't have, ain't none of them gonna have the same definition unless all of y'all friendship is on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Because you can love somebody and not be loyal to them. And this is why I say that is a top priority. If I had to number the things that matter when it comes to friendship, loyalty gonna be number one.
Yeah.
It's gonna be number one. I don't care what nobody says.
And that's based off of when I'm not in the room, when I'm not in situations, when I'm not currently there. Like, is you gonna have my back when you all? It's a whole group having a conversation about like that goes a long way with loyalty too. Like, you can't have a conversation about me and you say you're loyal to me, but you talk about me amongst other people. That don't work either. That's not loyal. So that's what I'm saying. It can go. There's a lot of different ways with how your friendship can go, but when you not there, you not in a room, and your name in that room, and everybody talking about it, ain't no loyalty there, because ain't nobody gonna even speak back about you unless you there present for yourself. So you gotta really see people behind another side of the screen, because you gotta think about it. I mean, it can be loyal to you in your face all you want to, but when you turn your back, you got kind of other people that'll do the same thing over and over. And once they show you that they're in person one time, you gotta take it. You gotta take it and understand that they're that person. So
that was good, son. That
woo. You know, I'm out of time. It's a topic that a lot of people that I can actually get into and talk about, but I mean, it's a lot of people that's just not really there for them, and I ain't gonna lie, I seen it a couple times, man. I just wish that if somebody that's in my generation can pop out and change some for our generation to actually have defined definitions of what everything actually means. And I don't think that this is really gonna get through. It's gonna go one ear and not another unless people ready to sit down and actually have a full conversation on loyalty and friendship.
And why we don't have these conversations? I'm talking about you, grandson.
I don't know. That's a conversation.
Hey, man.
See, this is the one time you on here saying something that makes sense.
Well, you know, they part of the reason why I do this thing.
I see it. Put in my mom too. Like,
we break it out. What you saying?
That, you know, she always got friends that she always there for, but they not there the same. You know? And that's why I just had to tell my mom I had to hop in this conversation, because this is a real indeed conversation that need to be had, because it's a lot of friends that don't get the same thing back as she give, and that's why I'm telling her, you can't live what they living too. I know you want to be there for them, but being there for them is being there for them with through the strength and the mind and the physical thing, not actually taking on what they're going on in their life. When you take on what they're going on in your life, and you got so much going on in your life already, you know, you just making two heads collide that's just gonna keep bumping heads, because you gotta, you know, focus really on yourself. But you can be there for somebody physically, you can be there for somebody mentally, but it's all about, you know, how you take it and how you really want to receive it, because you gotta understand that, I mean, you live in a life 24/7 just like them, but you can only do so much for somebody. You can only take on so much for somebody, but you can't take on what they're going through in their life. You just gotta be there from a distance, you know, mentally, physically. Like, that's a big truth.
Well, life is about lessons, man. Lessons. Get what you need to get from the situation and grow, man.
Yeah, growth definitely.
Yeah.
It don't happen overnight.
I'm willing to grow through all my.
I'm young saying this, and I can tell y'all it don't happen overnight. Growth is a thing that I'm still working on within myself. It's just about accountability and responsibility. That's what it is.
Whoa!
Down to the mat.
Who is this kid? Man, stop playing with me, man. Who is this child? All right, son. I love you so much.
You ain't been gone 24 hours yet, have you? Or just about?
Until I just left the pool. I'm about to go kick it.
All right, well, enjoy yourself, son. Thanks for popping in. I love you.
I love you more. I love you too, Grandma.
All right, baby. Grandma love you too.
Bye-bye.
Bring me a souvenir bag.
I got you. What you want?
You.
What kind of souvenir? Like a magnet?
You was good enough.
All right, I'm going to come back. I'll make sure I come back.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, baby. You wasn't expecting that, was he?
No, but what a wonderful addition to the conversation, though, man. Shout out to everybody that done popped in this boy. Hey, man, I got some stuff to show y'all, because I've officially got my first branding deal. So I want y'all to check out this little bag. People's got their own little website, an online storefront. Hey, man, this your spend a night bag, okay? I'm going to make sure I leave the link and all the info in the comments after I post the video. But, man, get y'all a spend a night bag, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Shout out to my girl, Gina. Hey, boo, it's up from here. I'm proud of you for setting up your whole website and everything. And, shoot, this is part of my little spend a night. Hey, man, it came with these.
I can't see it.
Wait a minute, hold on. Came with these cute little underwear, like, yo, she on to something, man. You need you a little nice little spend a night bag.
Oh boy.
With all your little go-to stuff, your feminine products, all that. You feel me? So make sure y'all click the link and stuff in my bio. Check it out. It's my girl Gina. That's my first branding deal. So big ups to me. Hey, I'm blowing up out here, y'all. I am. But I appreciate y'all. I think this was a wonderful conversation. I got a lot of feedback from people. I hope this conversation helped shed some light on some things for people, including myself. It's Friday, y'all. Y'all be careful out here. It's getting hot. It's a lot going on. Be safe. Take care of yourself. Make sure y'all do something for somebody this weekend, okay? And check on your peoples, your strong friends, the The ones you haven't talked to in a minute. Okay? I love y'all. I will see y'all next Friday for another episode.
All righty.